me also move to other guests as well who are there with us live on the broadcast. Mr. Alok Mehta continues to be with us, Rajlakshmi Joshi as well, and Sunny Diman as well, and Naveen Dubey as well. Thank you very much, all of you. I appreciate your patience and also the time that you are all in fact investing in this discussion. Now, Alok Mehta, sir, there is in fact a visible confidence that we see in the air, undoubtedly, about the NDA right now contesting their best foot. Why do you think that is so, and why do you also think at the same time that the India bloc does not right now seem to be expressing confidence, rather also hitting out from the back foot? Why is that? Is that also a correct measurement, if I have to put it out?
No, I think in beginning also I mentioned about it, because the Congress party or some supporters, they know that what will be the result. But earlier also, the Somnath Chatterjee was the communist leader, Marxwadi leader. But when he was the chairman of the Lok Sabha, the speaker of the Lok Sabha, they work in a very independently. Manohar Joshi, Congress never opposed like this. What is now happening with RSS, or number of people from RSS were in the Prime Minister also of India for 5 years, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, or Narendra Modi ji is since last 11 years. So when we talk about the ideology, because when you become a Prime Minister on constitutional post, or a Vice President or the President of India, then you try to be best in an impartial manner. And that's why I think when we raise these kind of politics, is a very petty politics like a corporation, we are not talking here. We are talking about the highest post of the India in a democracy. The speaker and the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha is the highest authority. So I think as well what Rajlakshmi ji also mentioned, Joyita ji also mentioned, that because of the states, that's why the compulsion of the Naveen Patnaik in Orissa, Naxal, Sudarshan Reddy ji supported the Naxals, opposed the Salwa Judum. These kind of people are also there. Maybe ideological, maybe he be right, but I am in a democracy because he was a judge also. So in his judgment, almost, because that's why, but we want a Naxalism here. We want a Maoism. We want a terrorist in parliament. Because the other people, they think that the parliament should be like some chaotic in Bangladesh or Nepal. We don't want this. That's why I think any speaker or chairperson, the responsibility is different than the political party leader. Maybe the political party, the Bihar election will be there, or the Bengal election will be there. Then we can discuss the other issues, the corruption issue. But here, the vice president, the both candidates, I still say, maybe ideological, Mr. Reddy is with the left or more Maoist, but even then, he is an honest person. Same thing with the Radhakrishnan ji. He was a very good business. He had a 500 crores business, and then even then he joined and all the business apart. What he is doing as a governor and as a parliament member and all the career. Because that's why he was from South India, but in Jharkhand, when he was the governor, every district he visited. In Maharashtra, every district he visited. So the role of as a pattern, as a Sanrakshak, we call guardian of the states. I think the role of the vice president and the president will be always there. There is a guardian. That's why I think we should not discuss such kind of petty politics of what is happening in the society or the politics. That's why I request our friends also that we should concentrate how we can strengthen the democracy. People want to listen from watch this NewsX or any news channels. They go all over the world, and what we discuss, the level of the discussion should be about the democracy, how we can save the democracy with the good chairperson. If the majority is there, right? Democracy, the majority will be there. Not the question of the person. The majority, if somebody is there, and then he can come. Maybe that's why I'm saying. In Bengal, there was a 25, 30 years, the left parties ruled. So one can imagine that maybe the ideological change also, all over the world is changing. And that's why I think we respect the democratic setup and respect the person who is coming. Maybe anyone can come, but at least he will be impartial, and we are hopeful. That's why we started this, that there will be some change, more parliament discussions will be there, more debate will be there. Then one can discuss. And if Rahul Gandhi can win, but he was just moving around, going to Malaysia, and sometime every time, next day again he will go there. He can enjoy the life because he's a leader of the opposition. But even then, he is free as a democracy. So I think these kind of things we are not discussing about the Rahul Gandhi or the party. We are discussing the vice president is the highest post, the second highest post. And that's why as a guardian, I hope that anybody who will come as a chairperson, he will help for the more strengthen the democracy.
All right. In fact, Mr. Alok Mehta
Simran, just quick
also,
point.
in fact, joins us and gives us more perspective to how we all look at all of these developments coming in. Now, viewers, on that note, let's also keep on looking at the visuals that we are seeing on our screens as Prime Minister Narendra Modi cast his vote. While casting his vote, we also in fact see that the voting has begun officially as Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives at the Parliament complex and cast his vote. For there, in fact, now more MPs of the 781 from different groups are going to be casting their vote. All right, now as we see these developments coming in, viewers, the race for the vice presidential polls kicks in as Prime Minister Narendra Modi cast his first vote. Now, let me also, in fact, bring in Dr. Samani Dhiman, who is asking some questions as well at this point of time. Sir, as we have just heard that there is a statement on the cross voting by the India Bloc Vice Presidential elect B. Sudarshan Reddy saying he does not know what cross voting is. How does one decode this? How do we make sense of why the statement has been made, as there were credible reports also saying that this is going to be largely working out for the India Bloc, or what is actually going to have be giving NDA an edge? Why do you think, very briefly, that the statement has been made?
Before I address that question, you need to just repeat with me NDA and India. I believe that your channel is the unbiased channel, and you shouldn't use the lingo of the BJP. You have to be a balance between Congress, BJP, everyone. So it's NDA and India. And coming back to your question, if the numbers, the arithmetics is in favor of NDA. It's in favor of Narendra Modi government. But at the same time, if the numbers are there, why Modi ji, who was a Shahenshah, has to become a backbencher and sit in the end and taming people, how to use what pen, what color of pen, not your own pen. And this is the first time happening. There's something simmering in the BJP itself. If you remember that Nishikant Dube's candidate, who was actually BJP's Amit Shah's candidate, he got defeated in the Constitution Club election. So there is an infighting between the BJP only. That's why I said, Aurangzeb did not got defeated. The Mughal Empire did not die from outside. It was died from inside only. Same is happening with the BJP, because the too much concentration of power.
All right, let me also first remind my guest, and specifically Dr. Sunny Dhiman, about the fact that what we are discussing right now is the election of the post of the vice presidential polls. Now, that being there, we are not going into the history of how the civilizations have shaped in at this point of time. We can also very well understand that this is the time when we see a post for the election going on. We see developments regarding, and I would also request once again that there is in fact a very considerable request over that while the voting is underway, let's also stick to the event that is there in the picture. And let's also understand that when something of a development is happening, we are requested to also obey over what regards is the comment is being asked for. Now, on that note, let me also bring in my guest Rajlakshmi Joshi as well, who is joining me and wanting to add some perspective. Ms. Rajlakshmi Joshi, over to you.
Simran, I actually, I'm aghast that this co-panelist doesn't even know that there is this concept of invalid voting, and that the kind of voting is that there are specific
Mr. Sunny Dhiman, I would request you to kindly adhere to the discipline of the discussion.
Yes. So there is the kind of voting for the vice presidential election is that there are a list of the candidates, and a person is supposed to mention his preference, his or her preference in numericals. and there are a lot of votes that go invalid, and a party that is particular and does not want a vote to go invalid definitely gives training to their members about how to do that. And if Mr. Dhiman is not aware, then the Indie Alliance also had conducted a mock election yesterday to make their members aware of the voting process. And it is I think that the Prime Minister, he was so gracious in the fact that he actually attended it, and the opposition leader Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he was holidaying in Malaysia. So that speaks about the kind of sincerity of the both the
Well,
whether it
Ms.
may be the
Rajakmi
ruling
Joshi
alliance
as well,
or the
this is also applying on the in the same regard. As we speak of this election, let's also understand that someone wanting to enjoy love of political nature, when and where, or if at all they are or not, is a subject of discussion altogether if we begin on that. But when we speak of this, it is also of importance that right now, let's not deflect from the topic. Let's also not deviate our attention from why are we discussing about what really happens to be the future of the elections of the vice presidential polls. Right now also, as the NDA versus the India bloc is coming up, let's also understand that this entire time is specifically dedicated to why we are speaking about the matter.
Yes, so like I was telling you, the number of invalid votes also adds to whether, the prospects of a candidate. And like I was telling you, in 2022, there were 15 invalid votes. And in 2017, there were 11 invalid votes. And in 1997, there were 46 invalid votes. So these were MPs who did not know how to vote, and their votes went invalid because they used a wrong pen, and they used the wrong numeral, etc., etc. So that is why, these every little thing matters, Simran. So all of this, it goes a long way into indicating the kind of alliance that you are with, into indicating the kind of ideology that you're supporting. And it's not always about some kind of corruption that goes in behind this. When it comes to Mr. Eknath Shinde, when he was a part of the alliance that was with the Congress and with the NCP of Mr. Sharad Pawar at that time, when instead of going with the BJP as it was earlier supposed to be as part of the Uddhav Sena. So, at that time, was it not, should we look at it as corruption then? Because, the voters in Maharashtra had voted for an alliance of the BJP and the Shiv Sena. And the Shiv Sena very conveniently went ahead with Congress and the NCP. So at that time, Mr. Eknath Shinde was with that Uddhav Sena. And then he was not able to withstand that. And that is why he shifted over, and he broke the party, and he went with the BJP. So what is wrong in that? So at that time, I think that it was the right thing to do for anybody who stands strong with the ideology, because he could not go with the Congress, because that was something that was against his ideology, and that is why he went with the BJP instead. And I think that that was the right thing to do. So how can you say that that is because of something else? So, and when it comes to Mr. Nitish Kumar, if he goes with the Congress and if he goes with the RJD, then he's a non-corrupt person. And if he goes with the BJP, it's because of corruption. I mean, what kind of logic is this? And if Justice Sudarshan Reddy, he poses with Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav, who is a convict, who is a proven convict because of corruption. I mean, that doesn't make a statement. But then if somebody does cross voting because they don't stand with that ideology, then that is corruption. I mean, this is a strange logic. So this thing about where they say that a particular politician is under surveillance because they don't stand with the BJP, that is strange. So, the fact of the matter is that Mr. Mulayam Singh, Mr. Lalu Prasad, all of these people were under the ED surveillance when they were in alliance with the Congress.
All right.
And when the Congress was in power. So it is the Congress who has gone against all of these leaders, against all of their political parties in the past, and then they are the same people who actually had put up such strong charges against Mr. Kejriwal, and then very conveniently they say that it is now the BJP who is against Mr. Kejriwal. So,
all right, Ms.
this
Rajakmi
is very
Joshi as well.
strange.
I appreciate, in fact, your patience and appreciate you making these